Hey guys, so as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be demoing the new e.l.f. Camo CC Cream for you guys in the shade Light 240W. So I've been wearing the CC Cream for the past 2 days, and yesterday I did a little wear test for you guys, so I'll include that in the video. But for now I'm going to go ahead and show you the finish of this foundation. It's actually a really nice finish. I'm just going to pump it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it with a sponge. I didn't prime my face today just so I can show what it looks like just on bare skin. Now it does give a full coverage. I think I mentioned in the video that I did for the wear test that I don't think it's the best for textured skin, but anything full coverage on me personally emphasizes my texture. So I try to go in with as little as possible. Now this one, I've noticed I like the texture a lot better than the last foundation they came out with. I think it was the Flawless Full Coverage Foundation. Now this is a CC cream. I really don't know the difference. Yeah, but if you guys can tell me what the difference is between a foundation and CC cream, I personally don't know. And I'm assuming this is like the dupe version of the It Cosmetics CC cream. I've never tried that product before, but I'm assuming that this would be like the more affordable version. So as you guys can see, it has a lot of coverage. It's really nice. It doesn't have any crazy heavy scent to it. It doesn't feel super heavy, and also it's covering all of my redness. And I'm just using a beauty sponge to apply mine. This is actually $1.55 if I'm not mistaken, on the Shop Miss A website. And this foundation matches me pretty well. I actually got this off the e.l.f. website. It was really easy to color match because it gives you that option. It's like the quiz, to compare it to another foundation you already own. It does look a lot lighter on me here with the light on me, but once I go into normal daylight, it's fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and move on to what I usually do after my foundation. I've introduced a lot of cream products into my routine, so I guess I will take this opportunity to show you what I do. I've really been liking this Wet n Wild makeup stick in the shade Where's Walnut. Girl! So I'm gonna go ahead and do a heavy, I know it looks like I do a lot when I apply this, but it blends so easy, and that's why I really like this, because it's so beginner friendly. See, it blended so easy. So this is very forgiving. You can go heavy-handed if you want. But yeah, I kind of use this as my base, whether I contour or bronze. I mean, I rarely contour. I'm just gonna bring some color back into my face, and usually when I do it on my cheeks, I kind of go a little higher than what I would want, or where I'd want my bronzer to be, just so it gives me that blending room. Super easy. I usually go in with a little more. Just remember that it's easier to add more and harder to take away products. So, and it also helps me a lot to use the same side I did for my foundation. And I have pretty oily skin. It hasn't really affected my wear time or anything to add cream products into my foundation routine. I remember I was kind of worried at first when I started doing this, but I really wanted to incorporate it because it made my skin look better. Usually when I powder, it smooths out my skin, but with bronzers and blushes and stuff, I've noticed that creams work a lot better in my routine on my really textured skin, because when I go in with a powder, or if I swirl my brush on my face with bronzer, it takes off my foundation no matter what products I use. So I've noticed that this really helps. Crooked. Okay, so now I kind of blend that out. Girl. Next I'm going to go in with this liquid blush from Rare Beauty in the color Bliss. So this is pretty pigmented. The shade is a little light, so it's kind of forgiving on my skin tone. So what I do usually is going with a sponge, but it stains my sponges so bad, so it's like killing me on the inside. So I switched over to using a brush for my blush, for the liquid blush. It's this very beautiful like mid-tone neutral shade. And a little goes a long way. It's really pretty, and blush is actually like my favorite part of makeup. So yeah, it's just like a light wash. With the lights, it's not so like, I don't know. It's hard to see with the lights. I need to play with like my camera settings. I know nothing about cameras and stuff, so. Okay, so after I do that, I go in with concealer. And the reason I don't go in with concealer right after my foundation is usually with the blush, I like to put it everywhere. And since I go in with concealer after I put my blush, I can kind of like clean it up with the concealer. I'm actually using the E.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Sand. I really like the shade because it's not too light. On camera it's probably going to come off really light. But it has a peachy tone, so any like darkness I have underneath my eye, yeah, it comes off a lot lighter than it is. It'll like cover that up really nicely. And I usually don't go heavy on the concealer just because I don't think I need it that much. I usually just use it to brighten up a little bit, and some days I have darker under eyes and other times I don't. But this concealer is really great. It's really affordable. I think it's like $6 and it's really pretty. Now I take my loose setting powder, and y'all know my favorite if you've been watching or if you've been on my channel for a while. The Wet n Wild translucent powder is my favorite. It's very smoothing. So what I do is I take it on the back of my sponge and I like tap it on the back of my hand, and so I'm not baking, I'm really just setting with my sponge. See, I don't know if you can see the difference, how like smoothing it is. And also there's not like any leftover powder there that I have to wipe away. I used to bake with a lot of powder, and then I kind of just stopped doing that because I'm still setting my makeup. It's just not looking as cakey as it would if I were to like bake with powder. This is kind of like if I were to take a little bit of powder with my brush, but I can't swipe with a brush. It'll just like take off anything, like any foundation that's on my texture. I've noticed that setting with a sponge really benefits my skin. The only place I use a brush is my under chin because I gotta cover a lot of surface area, if you know what I mean. You can kind of leave it like this, but I like to like reinforce my creams. It does look like it's still there. It looks very like natural. Like the bronzer, I'll just leave it like this, but I always add more blush. This has been one of my favorites. This is only $1 at Shop Miss A, and it is the Blush and Glow Amuse Cosmetics Duo in the number 3. This is like a neutral blush color, and I kind of just swirl and then pat, because again, I can't swirl too much on my skin or else it'll take off the foundation, or CC cream in this case. So I don't like to go too heavy on the highlight. I'll always put highlight on my nose though, but anywhere else, it just depends on the day. I really like my skin right now, so I'm gonna leave it. And since I don't bake my face anymore, I don't feel the need to set my makeup with setting spray. I feel like that just creates like a clay consistency on my face, and it just like doesn't really work for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my eyes real quick. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and play the clips of me at like the little wear test I did for you. It's pretty short, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play the clips. Okay, so unfortunately, as you can see, obviously, this foundation did not pass the mask test. It slid off my face. It looks really good. It feels good, it looks natural, it has a lot of coverage. But unfortunately, you know, nowadays we do have to wear a mask, and a foundation has to survive the mask, and it did not, unfortunately. Okay, so let me just, you know, bring it back a notch. This foundation is beautiful. It's really good. It's really affordable. But if you wear a mask, it's gonna come off. As most foundations do, but just, you know, warning, it didn't pass the mask test, so. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have some mixed emotions about this CC cream here. Overall, it looks really pretty and it wears well, but the thing is, we have to wear a mask every day, and with that mask, it comes off really easy. So if I were to be wearing like this without a mask, which I wouldn't, because I wouldn't wear this foundation without going somewhere, well, except for now because I'm not going anywhere after this video, but wearing a mask is a big part of our everyday lives now. You can see why I'm a bit conflicted on this foundation. Sorry, by the way, if I keep calling it a foundation, it's just like force of habit. I think my official rating is an 8 out of 10, but I think I would still recommend this foundation because it's so pretty. It looks so natural, it gives a really full coverage, it's really affordable. Like, the more I wear it, the more I like it. It has a pump, it has like, I think when I read on the box before I opened it, it was like more than the average amount, which is like an ounce, and I think there was like 1.5, 1.05, something like that, I don't know, but it was like a little bit more than average, which I can appreciate. And then, you know, it is so affordable. I think I will pass it off to you from here. Of course, again, the mask thing, but I'm still gonna wear it. I don't care. I think I'm still gonna wear this, even though, you know, I'm gonna keep trying it. It's just, I don't like packing on powder. I feel like if I really set this down, it would be fine. But since I go pretty lightheaded with the powder now, I think that's why it was like, you know, coming off. And then I usually don't wear powder on my nose. I mean, foundation on my nose. So, yeah, I think you should still try this. It's really pretty. It's really, really pretty. And yeah, that's it. I'm done with this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what other products you want me to try, and I'd be happy to do that for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!